Hey, it's episode 26 of the franchise. I'm your host, D-Snob. It's Daniel Ehrenberg.
And I'm your co-host, Hanky Pap, and it is episode 26 for Predator 2 and AVP.
Oh, yeah, HP, Pentium Predator. And we're talking about the Predator this week. Hey, it's Predator 2. Danny Glover's around.
Yeah, he is.
He sure is.
Is he still around?
In life?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's alive.
Okay, so he's alive. Yeah, I figured he was alive. I just didn't know what he was up to.
I watched a movie on Netflix with him drunk recently.
What was he on?
There was this movie called Rage starring Nicolas Cage, and I was like, I'll check out this Nick Cage movie I've never heard of.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I saw it as a suggested for you.
That's right. And there's Glover.
Okay. Glover.
That's right.
Danny Glover. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Ooh, sweet OJ reference.
Well, he's black.
Yeah, they have that in common. We're also going to talk about Alien vs. Predator by my boy Paul W.S. Anderson.
I cannot wait for that fucking part.
And between these two movies, it's light out for 30 seconds.
All right. I don't understand
These movies are so fucking dark.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like I was sleeping through half of these things.
Yeah, that is a fantastic point. Except one of the movies actually employs a director of photography and a director, and the other one does not. And you'll find out what I'm talking about in a little bit.
Oh, you're going to talk shit about my boy?
No, not really.
All right.
No, he's a talented guy.
He is.
He is in his own niche way.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I have things to say about that, too. But we're starting with Predator 2.
Yep.
All right? Creative title.
Sorry, I just spit coffee on my keyboard.
Oh, good. Good. Your computer hasn't been broken enough lately, you piece of shit. It's directed by Stephen Hopkins.
Weird career, but before we get into him, you should do the stats. I like to get those out of the way.
Okay. Hey, Jim Thomas and John Thomas are back behind the keyboards.
The brother Thomas.
Yeah, they're out of good ideas. This is one of those sequels where the writers are back, and it just lets you know how important the director was to the first one. I feel like that's happened to us before on this podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of what, but I will.
Yeah. All right. Listen, it was released November 21st, 1990, Oscar season. We're looking for some noms for this movie.
Sure.
Why the fuck is this released in late November?
It is a weird release date. When I saw that, I didn't really know what to make of that, my friend.
This is an August movie if I've ever seen one.
You got that right. Is it a Thanksgiving idea?
Ooh, possibly. Good point.
Or is it a summer release that they were just like, oh, no, let's just...
They lost the confidence?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know.
I feel like if you're like a big action movie like this and they're putting you out in like the fall, or like they should put you out just like on Christmas, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But no, this is just late November.
Yeah, very odd.
The only things come out in late November should be Oscar movies and cartoons. That's a rule, Hollywood.
Oscar movies and cartoons. Yeah, okay. I never thought of that.
It's true. What do you got now? What's coming out this week? Allied and Moana.
I saw Allied.
Oh, why did you see that?
Because it's Robert Zemeckis, and the guy who wrote it wrote one of my favorite movies in the top 10 of 2014, Locke.
Oh, right. That fucking Hardy movie.
Okay. All right. Easy does it.
I can't deal with Tom Hardy.
You just don't... I love your Tom Hardy opinion. I think it is because it's so baseless, but it has a lot of base to it.
I've never recognized him in a movie.
Yeah, tell our fans. I don't think we've ever talked about Tom Hardy. Briefly, give us your Tom Hardy rundown.
I don't know who he is. I can't figure the guy out. I don't know if he's a good actor or a bad actor. I could barely tell if he's a person. I watched The Revenant with my girlfriend. I had to ask her which one is Tom Hardy.
Yeah. He is actually a computer composite of Gary Oldman and Ryan Gosling and Robert De Niro. He's not okay. He's a phenomenal actor, and everything he's in is great, and he's awesome. And he's one of the very few, and we've talked about this a million times. He's one of the, and I think you'll even agree with me on this, though. In all seriousness, he's one of the very few foreign, mainly British. Let's just call a spade, British actors who can do an American accent without any flaws.
I agree, but who the fuck is this guy?
Who is he? Yeah.
I couldn't pick him out of a lineup, and I've seen like 20 movies he's been in.
He was born in a Limerick, and that's where he lives, inside of an Edward Lear poem.
I can't figure the guy out. He's always wearing a mask. Whatever.
Chameleon.
Ugh.
Like the Predator.
He might literally be like a reptoid.
He's one of the aliens from who's that guy who has all the conspiracy theories that the whole American government is run by reptiles? You know who I'm talking about?
I do know who you're talking about. I used to be really into that.
You are ridiculous.
I used to have when I had like a desktop computer back in the day, like a gateway computer, like
I'm using right now.
Yeah, my homepage was about reptoids.
But you didn't.
No, I didn't believe it. I'm just sort of fascinated in this theory.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
Because if you actually believe that, I think we just lost half our listeners, or gained another.
Yeah, we can gain some conspiracy theorists who think the Predator is real.
Yeah, well, he is. All right, so
November. Don't know why. Budget of $35 million, so we're doubling the budget of the first one for no reason.
Yeah, you got that right for no reason. Yeah. The spaceship, that's what cost the money.
That's we'll get to the spaceship. I enjoyed the spaceship.
I enjoyed a lot of this movie, I'm going to say right off the bat, way more than I remembered or thought I would.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not that much, but I did enjoy myself. Yeah.
All right, box office of $57.1 million. It's a money loser.
Yep, lost money. I mean, it doubled its budget, but that doesn't mean shit for a movie like this, right?
That's true. Why are they releasing in November? That's my question. All right.
I don't know. You can ask Joel Silver. He's still around. You know,
I just read an article in the Hollywood Reporter this week about Joel Silver. He recently bought out this landmark in Hollywood to be like the home base for his production company, and
really?
the place is just run down. He hasn't done any work on it, and now people think he's just trying to flip it for a profit. Oh, he's a nut job.
Yeah, he is.
And it has this really famous piece of art as a mural on it, and Joel Silver has it in storage, and people in the neighborhood are mad because nobody can see it.
But you know, I got to say something about him real quick. You and me both, you more than me, but we both kind of wrote him off when we did The Matrix. Like you said, he's not doing anything anymore. He's finished. That's not true. He's very active. I'm not saying he's doing anything good.
What has he produced?
The Nice Guys, Veronica Mars.
Well, he produced the Veronica Mars TV show, so we had a credit on the movie. Yeah.
No, yeah, on the credit on the movie. The Loft was a piece of shit. I saw that. That was a Netflix.
The Nice Guys was a failure, as much as I enjoyed it.
Sure. Non-Stop with Liam Neeson.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Bullet to the Head. Ooh,
I saw that in a motel room. Trying to big up myself.
That's great. He executive produced Splice, which I thought was a cool movie. He produced a movie you liked, which I never saw, The Book of Eli.
Oh yeah, that's one of those movies that has a shitty end, but the rest of it's pretty cool.
All right, so my point is, I could go on, but the point is, he's still around. He's still doing shit. He's
working.
He's working.
He's a fine Jew, and he's getting those movies made.
What a Larry David thing to say. He's a fine Jew.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that a Woody Allen reference?
No, it's a my dad reference.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's correct. I love your dad. But no, oh no, I'm thinking of Annie Hall when Diane Keaton goes, "You're what Grammy Hall would call a real Jew."
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although Joel Silver in Trump's America, not a person anymore.
Correct. And neither are you, so am I technically doing this podcast alone?
Yep, alt-right for life.
All right.
All right, let's not get political. All right.
No, let's not. Really, come on now. Stop it.
Hey, Predator 2, it was the first ever NC-17 movie. Did you know that?
I did not know that. What? Tell me. And I thought I read everything about this movie. Apparently
Eventually,
not.
yeah, they edited it down so like the final release is an R. But it was right when they formed the NC-17, and this was the first movie ever that the MPAA gave that rating to before it was edited.
Is that because of the sex scene?
That probably has something to do with it, but I think there was more gore in the original cut.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I didn't find it gorier than the first one. I really didn't.
That's because they cut it out, son.
I guess. Yeah. What do you want to get into here with this one right away?
A sneeze. That's what I have to get into.
Bless you. Yeah,
Thank
Dan
you.
has a little bit of something going on. Allergies, cold, we don't know what.
Something.
Predator virus.
That's true. Hey, I have to sneeze again. Hang on, talk.
No, please. A chew all you want. Chew in the Predator 2.
Yeah, so I wrote down what movies it was near in the box office that year.
Oh, yep. You know I don't ever look at that, so I can hear it from you. Go ahead.
Just below Air America and Darkman.
Oh, love Darkman. I'm kind of a fan of Air America, the movie where Mel Gibson made lifelong friends, besties with Robert Downey Jr. to the point where Robert Downey Jr. is still defending him in public.
Or the radio station where Janine Garofalo was yapping after 9/11.
Al Franken had a show on that too, pre-senatorial days.
So did Mark Maron, pre-WTF.
Didn't work, because smart people don't listen to the radio. Anyway, let's continue.
Just above Green Card and Pacific Heights.
Ooh. I remember Pacific Heights liking that very much when I was younger. I have no idea if it holds up anymore.
I've never seen it.
That really?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton as an evil psychopath.
I don't know anything about that movie. Pacific Heights, that title, it was always like, what the fuck is this? Melrose Place? Like it sounds like a nighttime soap on network television.
It was based upon our experience living in that Brooklyn shithole we lived in. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that's what the movie was based on.
I was always like, what is this, a Knots Landing spinoff?
Yeah, no, it's not Knots Landing. Okay, continue.
You want to talk about this Stephen Hopkins fellow? We got a new director here.
We sure do, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Stephen Hopkins.
He's had a weird career. He's still working, going strong.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you, because you're a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan. What do you think of his entry?
He directed Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Yeah.
My least favorite Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's a weird movie because, all those movies, we just got through Friday the 13th. It's like a new set of teens, every single one of those movies.
Right.
And then 4 comes out. 4 has the least interesting teens of the entire series, and then all of a sudden 5 makes a weird decision. Oh, we're going to follow those teens to another movie. We're not going to create new ones. We're going to do a second movie with that boring set of teens.
Oh, okay.
So I can't deal with 5. That one sucks.
All right.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know that it's his fault, but it's not a good movie.
Pretty high-profile career. I'm looking at it right now.
Directed a lot of big movies. One movie that I like.
Which one is that? Can I guess?
Yes.
I'm going to guess.
Guess. What, do you have them open right now on your...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to because I didn't want to write down this fucking guy's career, so I had to write. I think I recall you... Well, I know I recall. I don't know if you remember this. You told me you actually liked a Michael Douglas film that I do not.
Yeah, you're right. This is the
Ghost
one.
and the Darkness.
Ding, ding, ding. That's it.
Okay.
I enjoyed
Lost
that
in Space
movie.
sucked. It tried.
Saw it in theaters.
Jesus.
No.
Judgment Night. Blown Away. And
I feel like that's not horrible.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, he's made a lot of bad
movies.
movies.
Most recently, he directed a thing that's been on HBO a lot, but I haven't watched it, the Jesse Owens biopic, Race.
You see, the title, it's a double meaning, because he's a black guy and he races.
Well, Stephen Hopkins is a Jamaican-born Australian.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is he really? No, he's not. That's bullshit.
No. What? Hey.
Is that a joke?
No.
Then why are the Jamaicans so terrible in this movie?
He's a Jamaican director, man.
I don't believe you.
He's a black fella. No, I mean, what can I tell you? You know, I don't know. They're okay. They're horrible, but I mean, what do you mean? There's not a lot of powerhouses.
Dude, there's a gang in this movie, and it's a Jamaican gang, and they do voodoo. And they all have horrible cliche Jamaican accents, and they're smoking weed, and they have a pimp mobile. And then, we hear someone on the news at one point. Like, there's so much fucking shitty news footage in this movie.
I'm going to take back what I just said. Stephen Hopkins is not black. He's a white man.
You're an idiot.
He's from Jamaica.
Okay, There's
me racial profiling an entire country.
Yeah,
all Jamaicans are black.
One of my favorite lines in this movie is one of the news guys says after they get blown away, like the Predator kills a bunch of the
blown away.
Who the Predator kills a bunch of these Jamaican fellas, and then this news guy says sources say it was the Jamaican voodoo posse. Great. Cough right into the mic. Thanks. I will say Stephen Hopkins...
Hey, Sneezy.
I turned away from the mic. Stephen Hopkins does have a major upcoming credit.
Oh, that's not on his page.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that's because you look at Wikipedia like a chump, and I look at IMDb.
You look at IMDb like a chump.
No, like an informed person.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's such a great website where you have to literally wait for every page to load if you just want to see the fucking cast.
I love it.
I hate it.
Yeah, he's directing the pilot of that new 24 reboot.
Ooh.
24 Legacy.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Of course I do, but I don't care.
It's got a black fella in the lead instead of
like Stephen Hopkins.
Yeah. All right, so you want to say the plot of this movie?
No, do you?
I do. It's Predator 2. We're in the hellish future of 1997.
Not too far off.
I don't know why we're doing this. Sure.
I agree. There's no point. Make it 1990. L.A. was still a shithole. Yeah.
Well, I guess they want it so it's the city's caught in a gang war between a Jamaican gang, apparently the Jamaican voodoo posse, and
that was a thing,
and a Colombian gang.
Yeah.
And the Predator comes down. It's like a hot summer. You might recall that the Predator enjoys unseasonably warm weather.
Oh, one of my favorite moments from last week.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. He'll be back next week, right?
Be back next week. Yep,
yeah.
for sure.
So the Predator comes down. He starts killing these gangs. Meanwhile, the police is investigating things. The police is... there's only like 3 guys on the police force, apparently.
Apparently there's Danny Glover, Maria Conchita Alonso, Ruben Blades, and Bill Paxton. That's it.
Right, but Ruben Blades dies pretty early.
Yeah. Which is not a good idea, because he's like... Well, actually, the movie is chock full of good actors. I'm going to say that.
I will say there are legitimately good performances in this movie.
I totally agree.
I thought Bill Paxton was very good.
He's always... When isn't he good? He's always great.
He's the best, though, when he's playing women-hating pieces of shit.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like,
Aliens.
I watched, the first hour of True Lies the other day on television.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, he's so good in that movie.
I didn't even remember he was in it. Oh, he's a Jimmy Cameron fan. Yeah, that's right.
He's a James Cameron regular.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And, he, Big Love, he hates women and that. That's,
I lasted for 2 seasons. You lent me that.
Sure. I watched that whole thing, brother.
All right. I'm going to sneeze now, too.
Do it up.
I will.
Bless you.
All right, and I put my head away from the mic. Did it help?
No. God bless you. All right. So, yeah, Maria Conchita Alonso is good in this. Danny Glover, always good. This is from that weird period where Hollywood thought he was an action star for a second.
Because of Lethal Weapon.
Because of Lethal Weapon. But I'll tell you the big surprise performance-wise for me.
Ooh, wait. Can I guess?
Yes.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Legitimately good
Why
performance.
Why was that a surprise?
Because I've seen... listen.
You're too inundated with The Apprentice.
I am too inundated with The Apprentice. You're right. I watched Gary Busey on 2 seasons of The Celebrity Apprentice. He's a nut job. He's constantly talking about mechanical dogs. They have him... every time they have to do a commercial on that show, they have him act in it, and he's horrible. He's just a nut job now. I follow him on Twitter, too, where he's insane.
Let me tell you something. This when he made this movie, this was pre-motorcycle accident.
Yeah, he's still a person.
Right.
He's also, by the way, handsome in this movie.
I wouldn't go so far as to call him handsome, but okay. Yeah. I mean, Brad Pitt is handsome. I don't know if I'd call him
he doesn't have, like, movie star good looks or whatever. But
you think he's a good-looking guy? That's
I think he's a good-looking
fella. Good for you. Yeah. No, Gary Busey, because I was not inundated, even though you did actually force me to watch 1 season of that, and Gary Busey was in it.
Oh, yeah, I forced you. After, 1 episode, you were begging me to watch it.
That's very true. It's totally true.
This guy was hardcore rooting for Teresa G. Dice.
Yeah, well, I had kind of a problem with being in love with her.
Thank you for
Gary Busey. What?
Thank you for admitting that.
Absolutely,
in a public forum.
Absolutely. Gary Busey was a very good actor. I mean, he's excellent in even he falls into, and I've mentioned this before, he falls into the Roger Ebert, M. Emmett Walsh rule, and I add him to that myself personally. Any movie isn't that terrible if it's got Gary Busey in it, because he redeems some part of it. Like, even good B movies like Point Break or The Firm, Gary Busey pulls those movies up. Can I share a fun memory? I don't get to do this often because I have a terrible movie memory in terms of my going to see them, as it's probably been evidenced here.
I'm ready.
I remember seeing The Firm. Now, you've seen it, right?
I have.
Okay. I remember being in the theater, and I was about 15, and I remember when you don't know that he's really in the movie, and Holly Hunter is giving him a blowjob, and you do not know who she's blowing, and the camera pans up, and it's Gary Busey. And I remember the audience in the theater letting out a guffaw, like a genuine, like, affectionate laugh. Like, it really wasn't an exploitative scene, like it was like a funny scene. And when everyone saw Gary Busey, there was just a literal, like, oh my God, that's awesome, it's Gary Busey.
I love it.
Yeah.
The great thing about Holly Hunter is she can give a blowjob from a standing position.
And she can take customer abuse from an employee like myself, as I mentioned
That's right. Yeah,
months ago.
You insulted Holly Hunter.
She really doesn't like me. She's not a fan of me. Yeah.
All right. So basically, Predator 2, it's like near future urban hellscape kind of a movie. We got a lot of those in the 90s.
That's true.
Do you have a favorite?
Urban hellscape. Ooh, boy. Well, this is probably up there. Urban hellscape. You throw these things at me sometimes, and I'm just not smart enough to be so off the cuff. But something is popping into my head. You continue talking. I'm not checking my computer. There's literally something is coming into my head right now.
I wrote down Demolition Man.
Yes,
that
was
one.
It. That was it.
I love that movie.
I love that movie. Yeah.
I also wrote down
Sandra Bullock.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the reason that movie's great.
Well, no.
No, I think it is. I think if she wasn't in it, it wouldn't be.
Wesley.
I'm totally kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's magisterial in that movie.
Ugh. You and your Sandra Bullock.
Sandra, if you're listening, contact me.
Hank, when are we doing Miss Congeniality?
Whenever you want. Whenever she wants. I want to have her on the show.
I want to do it soon.
Let's do it.
All
Contact.
Right.
You're on Twitter.
I don't think she is.
Good for her.
All right.
Sandy B, you got my cell phone. You can text me. Send me them digits.
Oh, yeah, them digits.
I remember that when we had Zach on. He said that, so I remember that.
Oh, Zach.
Oh, he's such an asshole, but whatever. Love you, Zach. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. We want him back on.
Don't ever. Okay. I also wrote down Judge Dredd. That's a good urban hellscape.
Oh, is that in the 90s?
Yep. And
meaning it puts a dystopic 90s feel to it. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's just sort of like, oh, the streets are run by gangs now. Like those kind of things.
I see. Right. Yeah.
There's Johnny Mnemonic is kind of like that.
Oh, Lord.
And what else? I feel like there's so many from that era.
Yeah, no, you're right. You could go on and on about that.
Yeah, you really could.
Can I read you my first note from Predator 2?
Go ahead.
I love Coke.
I love Coke?
Yeah.
Why'd you write that down?
Because there's cocaine flying around in the opening parts of that movie.
Sure, it's 1990. We talked about this one on the first couple Die Hard movies.
And Die Hard and Friday the 13th, but you're right. Die Hard falls my Joel Silver.
Well, there's a lot of coke flying around the offices of Joel Silver.
Yeah, Silver Coke. It was a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Coke. My first note.
My first note was another takeoff on hard copy. Because there's this TV show, Hardcore, which is it's a hard copy ripoff, and we just saw one of those in Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
Do you remember? You're probably too young, but I'm sure because you're so culturally educated. Do you remember? I should say, you are culturally educated, but you're also pop culturally educated. Do you remember Morton Downey Jr.?
Only vaguely.
Yeah, he was a big fucking deal, man.
Is he
So
at all related to Robert Downey Jr.?
no.
When I was a kid, I used to think that, and it's
So did I.
sort of infecting my brain.
Me too. But no relation. Yeah, he was a huge fucking thing. And so my second note was, I'm just reading this right off the page, fantastically racist and misogynistic.
Oh, well, of course. It's a movie from 1990.
Yeah.
I wrote, they shouldn't have killed off Weathers. Listen, here's a big problem with this movie.
He could have headlined this movie.
He could have. He could have been the Danny Glover character.
Oh, my God, you're so right.
If they just let him live. Because I need one actor from the original Predator to be in this movie. I'm sorry. You can only get away with this bullshit in a horror franchise because the killer is the star. As far as I'm concerned, the Predator is not the star of the Predator franchise. Arnold Schwarzenegger was the star of that last movie. You can't make Predator 2 with just a whole new cast and the Predator. It's not even the same Predator.
Well, I read that he was going to be in it, but he had a dispute over the salary.
I believe that's not all. He didn't like the script.
Well, good for him.
I think the Gary Busey character in the original script was Dutch, and they like rewrote
Really?
it. Yeah.
Where'd you read that?
Oh, I've got sources, buddy.
Okay.
But yeah, I need an actor from the original in this movie, and this would have been perfect Carl Weathers headline fodder.
He could. You are so right. And I mean, I had that thought too. Like, he could have really carried this flick, and I was listening to our last episode, because that's what I do.
Nerd.
And you were so right. Yeah, and you were so right in that if he would have lived, and he deserved a franchise, and this could have been his.
Boom.
Yeah.
Because, listen, we're going to talk about Alien versus Predator in a second. I don't want to see fucking Aliens without Ripley in it.
Right.
Sigourney Weaver is the star of the Alien franchise. I don't give a shit about the aliens.
Yeah.
I care about her. That's who I want to follow.
Right.
So I'm watching this movie. It's just a shitty urban hellscape movie with Danny Glover, and every so often a Predator pops up.
But let's talk a little bit about this movie. I don't think it's completely shitty. I think the movie loses credibility with well, first of all, the script, but when the Predator is unmasked and calls Danny Glover a motherfucker, that's the worst moment in the entire movie.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, the first half of this movie is kind of a police procedural. That's kind of all it is.
Yeah, it's true.
And then the second half of the movie, it's just Danny Glover hunting this Predator. And I don't need that, because that's the Predator. I need the Predator to be hunting people.
Yeah.
It's the whole second half of the movie is the Predator running away from Danny Glover. And I'm like, yo, Predator, just stand tall. It's just Murtaugh. Kill this motherfucker.
Well, in all fairness, the Predator is Jewish, and he was offended by Danny Glover's association with Riggs.
Oh, Mel?
Yeah. He didn't want to be anywhere near him, so he was just running away from the anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Hacksaw Riggs.
But anyway, did you notice?
No props for that joke. I was proud of that one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're so funny that it's tough to always throw props around.
Oh yeah, we're great.
Yeah. But did you notice? I think you'll like this. That because I bet $1 million you didn't notice this, but you know.
Do I get $1 million if I noticed it?
Sure, you get it from my offshore Cayman Islands account.
Ooh.
You know that I would notice this. Did you notice that one of the subordinates to Danny Glover is Danny Glover's boss in Lethal Weapon.
No, of course not.
I knew you would. Yeah.
Isn't Gary Busey in Lethal Weapon?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like Glover brought over a couple people for this
Glover
movie.
brought over Gary Busey and that other guy who I'm talking about. I don't remember his name. He's a great character actor. He's actually in a lot of stuff, but he's the boss. The listeners will know who I'm talking about. He's the guy in Lethal Weapon who's constantly saying, you know, "You're out of control, Murtaugh," you know, that kind of bullshit.
Of course.
Yeah.
This movie has a lot of good character actors, and that's kind of why it works to the extent that it does.
I agree.
Because I mean, Danny Glover is just an endlessly watchable actor to me. The entire movie, he's doing that Danny Glover voice where his whisper is the same volume as his yells. Yeah. Where sometimes he's like, we gotta hide, and other time he's like, "Fuck you, Predator."
Listen, Predator. I know you can hear me because of your thermal underpants and your thermal hearing. I'm not gonna speak any louder, motherfucker.
There's one point where Gary Busey pronounces infrared wrong. he goes, this thing sees an infrared. And Danny Glover's next line is he has to like respond to that, and it's like his next line is just infrared. He like repeats what Gary Busey says.
I know
because Gary Busey says it wrong. It's like Danny Glover's correcting him. Like, this thing sees an infrared. Infrared. Like, I love that moment.
Do you think that's Danny Glover like trying to like cue Gary Busey like it's infrared, man?
I think so. But yeah, there's tons of things. Adam Baldwin plays Gary Busey's
Animal
Mother. Right-hand man.
Animal Mother.
What's that?
That is Adam Baldwin's most famous role.
It's definitely not. What is that role?
It definitely is. Full Metal fucking Jacket.
Listen, his most famous role is obviously My Bodyguard.
Okay, that's better than I thought you were going to say.
You thought I was going to bring up Firefly.
Yeah, I did. I was like, he's going to bring up some fucking show from the... Yeah, no, okay. You know what, though, dude? I think Full Metal Jacket supplanted his fame. I mean, come on. Everybody knows Adam Baldwin as being Animal Mother.
No, I mean, yes. Like, movie fans do.
My Bodyguard. I've never even seen that movie.
That's a good movie. But I think, like, TV fans from the last, like, 10, 15 years do mostly know him at this point from Firefly and Chuck.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
But he's Animal fucking Mother.
All right.
I mean, come on.
He's also... a hateful Republican.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I followed him on Twitter for a while because I love Adam Baldwin like, as an actor, and it was
no relation, by the way, listeners, to the Baldwin brothers.
But if he was a Baldwin brother, he'd be the best one.
If he was a Baldwin brother, he'd also be friends with Stephen Baldwin, the one breakaway,
an even more hateful Republican.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say.
And not as good a Celebrity Apprentice player as Gary Busey. Motherfucker
Stephen
got fired.
Stephen Baldwin, best role, Usual Suspects. Fair enough.
Biodome.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, all right.
Biodome.
How many times have you mentioned Biodome on this?
Probably 3.
It's been more than that, buddy.
I know I brought it up when we were talking about William Atherton.
That's right.
Yeah.
Die Hard, too. Mm-hmm. Same year.
It's true. Better movie, better sequel.
1990.
Yeah.
Better movie, better sequel. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, by a lot.
Not by that much.
Yes, by a lot.
Really, because you're not a big fan of Die Hard 2 at all.
I like Die Hard 2.
No, nor am I. I don't have my notes with me, but I don't
remember what I ranked. 2. speaking of calling a spade,
Yeah, go for it.
it's a bad movie.
I agree.
It's watchable because it has people like Gary Busey and Danny Glover and Adam Baldwin and Ruben Blades in it. And by the way, Maria Conchita Alonso, very good.
She's
a much
awesome.
better female lead than in the first movie.
Carrillo. Yeah, I agree. And she's another carryover because she's in The Running Man. You think Schwartzy said, hey, I know a woman who's very hot. You should have her in here. She's a good actress.
Yeah, he's probably cheating on that Kennedy lady with her. Maria
Shriver.
It took me a second to think of Maria Shriver.
Eunice and Sergeant Shriver's daughter.
Speaking of crossover, how about the franchise crossover in this movie?
Well, there's been a few, but go ahead.
What do you mean?
Well, we talked about... Oh, no, we didn't do Lethal Weapon.
No, we have not.
Look at me. I'm jumping ahead. We gotta get to that soon, though.
Yeah, we'll do it.
That's going to be a fucking gold mine.
I want them to do a Lethal Weapon 5 now with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover the way they are today.
I'm not waiting for that. But
I would love that.
That would be phenomenal. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
They are absolutely too old for that shit now.
Wait, can you whisper it to me?
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't tell whether he's yelling or whispering.
Right. All right.
How about Ruben Blades, buddy?
Okay. All right. Don't tell me because I think wasn't I the one who brought him up in one of our things?
Possibly. He is a Fear the Walking Dead actor. I'll say that.
God damn it!
That's what he's up to these days.
Ruben Blades is in. I don't know. God damn it, Dan. I don't remember what
he was in The Two Jakes.
Ah, that's right. Of course. That wasn't that long ago. Well, I can't remember that stuff. Yeah, okay. Good call.
Yeah.
Now,
I will say, now, what's the better sequel? That's the real question. The Two Jakes or Predator 2?
Oh, come on, Mr. Two Jakes hater. You're going to say Predator 2 is a better sequel.
No, it's close, though. I'll tell you a big problem I have with Predator 2.
And then I will tell you the two best scenes in the movie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's so fucking dark. And I'm not talking about the subject matter at all.
Yeah.
I'm talking literally someone turned the lights on in this goddamn movie. I can't see shit. The fucking subway action sequence, the chase scene with Glover at the end, I can't see anything.
Were you, did you have your TV on the right setting, or?
I did. It's too dark, this movie. I even went on IMDb. I checked out, are we using the same cinematographer as the first one?
No.
No, we are not. And I'll tell you who this new DP is.
Yeah.
Fellow named Peter Levy.
Yeah.
All his goddamn other credits are Stephen Hopkins movies. This Stephen Hopkins piece of shit brought in his own DP like he's some kind of artist or something.
Like he's some kind of artist. Yeah, that's fair enough. What am I supposed to do with that? I can't argue that. Yeah.
Terrible.
Okay, so everything this guy does. So Stephen Hopkins, the black/white/Jamaican/Australian guy, he likes dark movies.
He just doesn't everything. Oh my God! Someone turn the lights on. The Predator, the original, is a nice looking movie. They're shooting in the real jungle.
Movie.
They're using a lot of natural light.
Well, I've never been to Los Angeles, but I can't. It is called the City of Lights.
It's the darkest movie. It is in Los Angeles. There should be plenty of sunlight. There's sunlight in that opening gang war scene, and then it's just dark out for the rest of the movie.
You're right.
There's like a lightning storm halfway through this thing, which doesn't happen in Los Angeles ever.
No. True.
Get out of here.
Well, the funny part is that you segued beautifully into my two favorite sequences in the movie. And actually, it is the subway sequence.
I hated that sequence.
I loved it. It probably gave you like a headache, right?
I just can't see anything. I don't know what's happening. I liked that sequence when the subway was still working and the gang members pulled out guns on that.
So before the subway sequence actually has any kind of meaning, you liked it. Yeah.
I did. I liked Bill Paxton seeing himself on the little television monitors and it's like the headline on the monitors is like the Chiron says police brutality, and he's like, I look good there. That's funny.
But Chiron?
Or Chiron? How's that word pronounced?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's what they call the lettering at the bottom of a news.
Oh, look at you educating me on that. I never heard of. I never heard that. Okay.
Yeah.
And I love the ultraviolet sequence.
But then no, the Predator comes down and it kills the lights in the subway, and then I'm just out for the next fucking 20 minutes of the movie. I can't see shit.
Oh, I didn't care. I thought it was great. It's the best part of the movie.
I disagree.
Yeah.
The best part of the movie to me was the end when Danny Glover finds his way onto the Predator spaceship.
Okay, all right, fair enough. You're right.
I thought the production design in that scene was pretty spot on. Looked gorgeous, and the lighting was actually good for once.
This is one of those great examples of a good. Well, you're not going to agree with me, okay? You're not going to agree with me. I guess because my favorite young generation current director is David Fincher. I guess I go for a lot of that dark lighting, and this is one of the best.
Fincher uses lighting artfully. In this movie, I can't see anything.
Yeah, but what I was going to say was it doesn't. All I was simply, it's quite simple what I was going to say. It doesn't bother me like it bothers you. Yeah. And I think this is one of the best looking bad movies I've ever seen.
That's crazy.
I don't think it is. I mean, this movie is, all right, I'm just going to throw it out there right now because we're going to be wrapping up and going to AVP, I assume, right?
Yeah.
It's a 3-star movie to me.
Not me. Jason X is a better looking movie than this.
No, it's not. No, that movie looked like it was shot in my fucking bedroom. This movie...
Yeah, but it looked like something. This movie looks like it was shot on the back of my fucking eyelids.
I don't... No, man. It's a 3-star movie, man. 3-star movie. I got a superhero count.
Okay.
And because of your anger of the last few times I've named them and then couldn't tell you the characters that they played, I've now made an effort to find out who played what in what. So you should be happy with me.
Thank you.
Okay. Adam Baldwin. Green Lantern TV cartoon 2005.
Okay.
Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
All right. And the woman who is trying to identify the metallurgy of the Predator's weapons is an old actress, and she was in the George Reeves Adventures of Superman. How is that?
Pretty good.
Pretty good too, and nobody else. I was really surprised. I was like, for sure, Gary Busey or Bill Paxton has shown up in a super. Nope, nothing.
Yeah, how has Bill Paxton never been like a Shield guy or something?
He should be.
Yeah. Listen
up, Marvel people, or as Dan really prefers me to say, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hire him.
If James Cameron ever made that fucking Spider-Man movie he was threatening to for years, Bill Paxton would have been in
it. Threatening to, yeah. All right, MVP, LVP.
Wait, I want to give a superhero count shout-out.
Yes, do that, please.
To Jonathan Watkins, at Sam Loomis 13 on Twitter.
Yep.
Called you out, Hank.
Yep. Well, called us out.
Called you out.
called me out, but you have now tried to, take over or
I'm
join
not
me.
trying to take over. I'm trying to call you out.
All right, that's fine. Accepted. Go ahead, tell them.
In the Austin Powers and Goldmember superhero count,
Yep.
Danny DeVito was playing fake Mini-Me in that movie.
Yep.
Austin Pussy, you might recall. And, of course, he was the Penguin in Batman Returns.
Good call, Sam Loomis. I don't know how the fuck I missed that. You have a major shout-out. We'll be sending you a basket of flowers.
Yeah, he vomited oil at the end of that movie, remember?
No, not the worst Batman movie. One of the worst.
The best Batman movie.
One of the worst Batman movies.
It's my favorite Batman movie.
That's bullshit, and you know it is because you don't feel that if you're carrying over to the Chris Nolan movies because you love The Dark Knight Rises.
I do, but I'd really have a tough time. When we do Batman on this show, that's going to be my Sophie's choice, which to put in the top.
Ooh. I really can't wait to do Batman because, as you know, Daniel, he's my guy.
Yep.
I know that's not a very original thought, but I have been with them, listeners, since 86, 87, pre the movie. So, yeah. All right. Anyway,
not the Adam West movie.
Hey, I loved it as a kid. Yeah, I did.
Hey, I love the Adam West TV show. I have the complete series on DVD.
I fucking bet you do. When it finally came out, right?
Yeah. I was on it.
Yeah. I can't watch.
Christmas
I
present.
can't.
I love it. It's great.
Chris Nolan spoiled me for ever watching that again.
No, it's a comedy.
Yeah, well, because Batman's a comedic figure,
He can be.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, so MVP, LVP.
Oh, MVP. Oh, man. I could very easily go Danny Glover, but I'm going Busey.
Look at you. Good for you. That's nothing wrong with that. That's totally valuable. Yeah. I'm going Danny Glover.
Yeah, that's fine. Good choice.
LVP.
LVP. Yeah, the GP. That's a good pick.
You can pick. Yeah.
I can and I will. I'm going with the DP.
Peter Levy.
Yeah, I could also go with this fellow who plays King Willie, the leader of the Jamaican voodoo posse.
So that's not. You're absolutely right, but that's not his fault. That actor, or if you're just going to pick the character.
The character, I mean, is horrible. He interrupts this fucking hot, steamy sex scene between a Colombian drug lord and a lady with fake boobs.
Right.
And because we definitely needed nudity in The Predator.
Yeah,
and he starts doing like he pulls out these bones because he's a voodoo magic man, and he's got dreads and shit. He starts like painting something in blood on this fella's chest, and he goes, "Fucking voodoo magic, man." Oh my god, it's so fucking bad. And
do you think that Stephen Hopkins, being a white Jamaican, had like some extra pull with the black actors, being like, "Listen, man, we're going to have you be like kind of a Jamaican voodoo thing, and you can do it, man." And the black guys were like, because they probably weren't Jamaican, and they were probably like, I don't know if that's really what we want to do. And then Stephen Hopkins was like, "Listen, man, I'll give you an extra 500 grams of marijuana, man." Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I have a real problem that the Predator is killing people from the Jamaican voodoo gang.
Yeah.
Because the Predator...
Why is he doing that?
Is obviously descended from Jamaicans. He's got those natty dreads.
Did you read Roger Ebert's review?
Yeah. You know what? Roger Ebert...
Do you think it's right? Do you think he's right?
I think he's totally right. Yeah, he says...
I don't think he is. I gotta say. And I don't like to disagree. I love Raj.
Give the opinion.
Roger Ebert says that there's he actually puts the entire things in parentheses, as you recall, right? He says there's a subtle or not so subtle racism going on with the way the Predator is drawn and characterized by having dreadlocks. But the only reason I disagree with Roger Ebert there is the Predator has those already in the first movie. So, I mean, I don't think there's some kind of thing going on there. I mean,
he was redesigned for this picture, though.
Yeah, I know he was, but give me a break. Redesign my ass. He's not really redesigned. It's the same Predator.
I'm just saying, even in 1990, Roger Ebert was a woke motherfucker.
Well, he always was, though, Roger Ebert. He was always very socially conscious of things.
And he had a black wife, right? What's her name?
Chaz.
Yeah, she's a fucking saint.
She is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman. If you ever listen to this, Chaz, you are a great, great, great woman.
Watch that Life Itself. That whole the Roger Ebert documentary, which is great. Like the moral of that movie is Chaz Ebert is the greatest human being in the world.
Yeah, you're right. I wish I could find my own Chaz Ebert. Yeah, she is amazing. But I didn't really agree with his opinion. I just don't think it was that, like, calculated. I think it was probably clumsy and probably like, yeah, all right, he's got, like, kind of Predator has, like, natural dreads and we'll just, like, make it, like, do you think it's, like, re-emphasized, though?
I don't think it's intentional racism. I think it's...
So you agree with me?
It's unintentional racism.
So you agree... Oh. Which is almost worse sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's like when my dad uses the word mulatto and he thinks he's being right.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's leave Steve out of it. Love that man. Hello, Steve. Shout out to you.
Before we go, can I just say the two best lines of dialogue in the movie?
Oh, yeah, and then I want to say one more moment that I loved, and then we'll move on. Yeah.
Okay, Bill Paxton hits on Maria Conchita Alonso.
Who's pregnant, by the way.
Yeah. She turns him down, and then he comes into the room with Danny Glover and goes, "God damn, is that bitch on the rag or what?"
Yeah, that's
great. Great
real
stuff.
Real nice line.
Yeah. And, of course, the best line in the movie, the best moment of the movie, Gary Busey. "It's a fucking alien. The lions, the tigers, the bears. Oh my.
You're fired. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good call.
That's right.
I will say, and this will lead into AVP, I really dug this spaceship sequence at the end of the movie, which we really need to bring up. But when the Predators acknowledge that Danny Glover is like the man, and
Glover kills the main Predator of the movie, and then like an army of Predators show up on this spaceship,
and they hand him a revolutionary flint gun rifle from 1715. Actually, let me rephrase. I am a student of history. That is about 60 years pre-American Revolution. So they're literally handing him a gun from 1716. So this is like, I don't even know where they got that year from. Like, it's such a weird, you know what I mean? Like, there's no symbolism going on there. It's just like, we've been doing this. You think that's all it is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've been here a long time.
Right. They've been here for 280 years, and they're going to continue to do this. And it's a very cool scene. And we should also, I also want to throw out, because I ain't going to get to do this in the next part of the show, Alan Silvestri's music. Still great.
Not as good as the first one, I'd say.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But still there.
Still good.
Still a score.
Yeah. I know where you're going with that. All
right.
I'll also say
What's
in that
your star rating?
I'll say in that spaceship scene, the Predator he has like a line of dialogue, and I talked over it when I watched this movie.
I don't blame you.
And then I had to rewind it because I thought it was going to be like the most significant moment of the movie.
What does he say?
And then it's just he's handing over the spear, and he just
Yeah.
goes, "Take this." That's it.
it?
Yeah,
That's it?
I rewound the
catch
movie
that.
for "Take this."
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Is that wait when he hands him the gun?
Yeah, he goes, "Take this."
Oh, see, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I just kind of glossed over it because I was like, I thought he just like growled something, like not even English. I thought he went like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
But so he actually says, "Take this." Okay,
that's right.
I'm
And-
glad you rewound it. That's good.
Yeah, that was worthwhile. It's worthwhile use of my time. I will also say, as a segue to the next movie, that is the scene where Danny Glover sees a trophy case of different skulls of creatures
Loved
the
it.
predators
Loved
have
it.
conquered, and
Loved
we see the head of a xenomorph.
This
Right?
is a 3-star
From
movie,
Aliens.
man.
I'm going to.
Come on, man. I'm going to hold you to task. And you have done this to me before, and I have done this to you before, and we have converted each other to Christianity. I am going to, come on.
No, I'm absolutely fine with a 2 rating for this movie.
Dude, the cast, the spaceship sequence.
I was bored, though, for a lot of
music,
it. I
was too,
paused
but-
it a bunch.
So did I. I went on a few runs. But the come on.
No,
Really?
I'm sticking 2 on this one.
You're not. You are immovable.
Yeah. It's like right in the center of the 2 rating for me.
But you get why I give it 3, right? Like you don't seem to have any issue with me giving it 3.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, because it's definitely not a 1.
No.
I can see the 3 rating more than I can see the 1. I'm just very happy and centered at 2.
All right, I'm very happy to send it at 3. It's a low 3. It was either a high 2 or a low 3, and so I decided to go high 3. And that also, I think, bears into our segue right now.
Okay. AVP. Alien. Is it plural? Just one alien. Alien
Fuck
versus
cares.
Predator.
Yeah. I mean, they are plural, but yeah. All right, AVP, folks.
Written and directed by one of my favorite auteurs, and I'm not kidding. Paul W.S. Anderson.
I don't,
I'd
all
never seen this movie. This was one of 3 Paul W.S. Anderson movies I'd never seen.
Oh, you never saw it?
No.
Okay. I never saw AVP Requiem, and I still haven't. I'll be watching that this week.
Me too.
Okay. I saw that. Can I tell my little...
Go ahead.
It's the only Predator movie, only Predator movie I ever saw in the theaters. I was in college, and I was dating somebody. I took her to this movie, and we both loved it. Loved it.
Really?
Loved it.
I got to assume that opinion has changed over time.
You got to assume correctly.
Why did you love this?
I don't know. I think I was in an elated mood. Like I had just graduated college. Like literally, like you'll tell the release date of this, but it was August, right? And I did one of those summer graduations because took me a while to get out of college.
Yeah, I did a January graduation.
Oh, nice. All right,
Yeah.
good. So I'm not alone there. Okay. And I was so psyched about it. I don't know why. I think another reason I was psyched about it was because it had been, let me do the math here with the Alien movies. What did we have at that point? Alien Resurrection was 97.
Yeah.
Which I saw in the theater as well. So, and I fucking hated that piece of shit. And I still do. So I think I was happy that 7 years had passed. I was now a college graduate. George W. Bush was just about to be reelected, so that made me really happy. And I think I was just in a good mood. That's all I can say.
It was a good date.
It was a good date. End of story. Addendum. Not how I felt now. Now, I thought I had seen it, and I want to bring up Aaron real quick, because he's on the podcast. Aaron, when I first met Aaron, and we talked about this last week, we talked about how we were big Predator fans. It was the movie we bonded on, and Aaron told me, I'll never forget this as long as I live. This was 2005. So the movie was less than a year old. He told me, I remember, and we were probably like still friends to the point where we couldn't be completely honest with each other about calling each other out on shit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And yeah. And so he said to me, yeah, I dug it until it turned into a buddy movie. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. And I was like, you thought it turned into a buddy movie? Like, what? And I had no idea what he meant. And now I know what he meant. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dan.
You want the stats and shit?
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
I hope that story was entertaining. I didn't mean to go on a rant there.
I was very entertained.
All right, good. Go ahead.
August 13th, 2004.
That's right.
It's my summer before college.
Oh, look, this is finally when you and me are like almost in the same, like, we could hang out now.
That's true.
You're no longer a child, and I'm no longer like an adult, a teenager, where we're like, let's go get a beer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Budget of $60 million. And, hey, box office, 172.5. Big hit. Only 80 of that comes from America. And this is the Paul W.S. Anderson special. For some reason, his movies really appeal to overseas viewers. Those Resident Evil movies that I love so dearly.
Yeah, please, I want now it's your turn to rant, and I'm going to be silent. This is Dan's corner.
None of those movies make money in America.
Yeah, but you
they
need to
keep making them because they're big hits in like Japan and shit.
Yeah. Well, you need to just explain to our audience why Paul Thomas Anderson is one of your favorite directors.
Well, Paul Thomas Anderson is one of my favorite directors because he's made so many great movies.
That was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it's close to me who I love more. Which Paul Anderson?
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm just kidding. No,
Jesus.
But Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say right now, I watched this movie for the first time yesterday, and this is now my least favorite Paul W.S. Anderson movie. But
wow.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any of those Resident Evil movies. This is your least favorite? Wait a minute. All right, I'm looking at his filmography. Okay.
Go for it. I'll tell you that now the only two Paul W.S. Anderson movies I've never seen are his Death Race remake with Jason Statham and his Three Musketeers, because I couldn't care less about the Three Musketeers.
Okay. I'm going to tell you my favorite movie of his.
You're going to say Event Horizon. They always do.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They always do.
They do, because that's like his movie that's like a legitimately great like horror sci-fi movie.
Why is that? Because it has like ideas and shit?
Because he tends to use existing properties as a launching pad for his scripts. And that
I'm O.W.S. Anderson. I'm 51 years old from Tyne, England, and I don't have anything in common with Paul Thomas Anderson, but I'm going to also go by initials.
Well, they're both great filmmakers. That's what they have in common.
Get the fuck off of our podcast.
His only original screenplays really are Event Horizon and Soldier with Kurt Russell.
Oh, you didn't like Pompeii?
I like Pompeii.
Get the fuck out of here. No, you didn't. Because
yes, I did.
In a private conversation, you told me it was a total waste of fucking time.
No, I said the last like 45 minutes of that movie are really fun. I had a big problem with that movie because the lead is a shitty Game of Thrones actor.
Yeah, Kit Harington.
Yeah. But that movie's fun. But I like all his movies, man. Resident Evil, he's directed 4 of the 6, and he wrote all of them. And fucking, I mean, what else? You have his filmography up?
I pulled it down.
The original Mortal Kombat.
My computer crashed by looking at his filmography.
Yeah, the original Mortal Kombat's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
What else?
You know what, dude? God,
you're acting like I'm antagonizing you.
No, not at all. No, I'm sorry. No. That's not how I feel. I'm just being funny. I'm not antagonized at all. I'm trying to figure you out with this guy. Like,
he makes movies that are legitimately fun.
Okay, so is this guy? But all right. I'm going to treat you seriously now.
Okay,
you should appreciate that because it'll never happen again. Paul W.S. Anderson, is he the Roland Emmerich light, or is he just
not at all?
Okay, go ahead.
I like Roland Emmerich because Roland Emmerich makes buildings falling down movies, and I love them. What Paul W.S. Anderson does that I love...
Roland Emmerich is talented. He's talented.
Paul W.S. Anderson is talented, too. What Paul W.S. Anderson does that I love is he generally takes existing properties and takes them seriously without making them like gritty that you have to take everything seriously. He takes them for what he is. Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil are goofy, ridiculous video games, and he takes them at face value. So when you go see a Mortal Kombat movie, you're going to see the characters that you loved playing as in the game fucking fighting each other in a tournament, and he takes that seriously. He uses the premise of the game, takes it at face value, and he makes a Mortal Kombat movie. He does the same thing with Resident Evil. Those Resident Evil movies have ridiculously specific and straightforward continuity. The most fun thing about those movies is you have to watch them from the beginning. It really rewards people that go see every movie. And they're fun as shit, and Mila Jovovich is awesome in them. The action scenes are great. It has like recurring characters. It has nods to the video game, and they're silly and fun and like not trying to be smart, but at the same time being endlessly watchable.
Okay. That was about as long a treatise on that motherfucker that will probably ever be said on air.
I love Paul W.S. Anderson. And by the way, he does the same thing in Alien vs. Predator. He takes the premise at face value. He's trying not to mess with the continuity of either franchise. Yeah. The problem with Alien vs. Predator is I feel I get a sense that he's more intimidated by the source material because the source material in Mortal Kombat or Resident Evil, those are fucking ridiculous video games. Like, he's happy to make a ridiculous video game movie. I feel like the ghost of Ridley Scott and James Cameron and John McTiernan lingers over this movie to such an extent that what I'm watching isn't a Paul W.S. Anderson movie. It's not fun and silly. It's fucking boring and self-serious. And I don't enjoy it.
Okay, interesting.
And it's even darker than Predator 2. I can't see anything that's happening in this movie because it takes place underground.
I bet when we come to the end of it that I gave it more stars than you.
I think you did.
Wow.
What's the premise?
All right, so Bishop is our friend from the Alien franchise, which we will cover soon, folks. Don't worry.
Lance Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen.
From TV's Millennium. Wait, wasn't he in another franchise movie we did?
Stop it. Yeah, he was in Scream 3.
Oh, that's right. I remember talking about Lance Henriksen.
I looked it up because I knew that we talked about him. All right, so he is Mr. Wayland, who, for our alien friends, is part of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, which has a brief mention in Aliens and Prometheus. And so he's a billionaire, trillionaire, gazillionaire, who finds a thermal heat registered via satellite, who cares? It's something in Antarctica where he wants to unearth a pyramid that he thinks contains something very valuable. But what it really contains is buried alien species and predator species. No, not predator species, right? Like, it was hard. It was honestly hard for me to...
It's like alien eggs? Is that right?
Yeah. Like you got to help me out because I kind of zoned out. I mean,
I did too, bro. I gotta tell you, I was walking around. I was like pacing my living room watching this.
So was I. I think I did the dishes during. No, I didn't do the dishes, but
I was bored. I have the least notes I've ever taken on a movie for this podcast. I have literally 2 notes.
I don't have that little. That would be a fun episode, though, sometime to mention the least notes we ever had. I do not. I actually have a lot of notes, but I was walking up and down. I think I was laying my clothes out for the next day, which didn't make any sense because it was like 1 in the afternoon. But, hey, whatever. So whatever, they're trying to uncover that he sees something. So he gets a team together he gets a Sana Lathan.
Yeah. Sine Lathan, I want to say.
Yeah, that's funny that you said that. I immediately always thought her name was Sana Lathan. Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably Sine Lathan. So he gets like an ice.
She's the female lead from Blade.
Right. So she's an ice hiker. That's what I call them. I don't care what they're really called. I call it. She's an ice hiker.
I'll go with ice hiker.
Yeah, I like that. Ice hiker at icehiker.com. And she gets she gets Spud from Train Spotting. She gets the scarred guy from a bunch of English movies. Basically, he gets a team together of rogues, right,
and
folks?
A terrible Latino actor that could barely speak English.
Italian, but yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Fuck.
Italian.
God.
Dude, he's Italian. Jesus Christ.
I am xenophobic. And I'm not talking about those xenomorphs.
No, you're not. It's okay. I'm half Italian, so I tend to notice when there's 1 out of a billion actors who are actually cast who are Italian, because they're never, ever. When is there ever an Italian American that's not jumping up on an Oscar seat? Right? Am I right?
Good point. Roberto
Benigni in Predator Alien. I love the aliens. I love the Predators. I kill them with love.
Yeah.
That's Amore. But anyway.
Great Holocaust comedy.
That's the story. I mean, that's, they're trying to unearth something. And, of course, what do they unearth? They unearth a terrible, terrible fucking thing.
Sure. It turns out that the Predators...
Turns out. I love it. I love it.
The Predators came to Earth.
I will say real quick that half of my... Hold on. No, I have to say this right now. I'm just looking at my notes. Half my page is my superhero count.
Oh, my God, really?
Yeah, the rest is... I'm going to read it right now. I'm just going to read my notes. Dan O'Bannon is credited with the story.
And Ronald Shusett.
Right, Shusett, yeah. Walter Hill credited with production. What else do I have?
I think those are just sort of contract things, though.
Yeah, I agree. Composer equals... what did I write? Oh, junk pile. That's what I wrote. I wrote composer equals junk pile.
Oh, he's a nobody. And the DP of this movie, by the way, is a real Paul W.S. Anderson regular.
And
he brought in his own guy, too.
Here's my other note. I'm trying to read my writing. Why Predators work so well No easy targets. Unlike, why did I write that?
I don't know.
Why?
Skip it.
Well, it's funny.
All right.
I'm talking about Predators, which we're going to do next week. That's what I wrote. That's why Predators work so well, because the targets in this movie, I'm sorry, I get it now. I get why I wrote that. I remember why I wrote that. All the targets in this movie, they're nobodies. So, of course, a Predator movie can't work if the targets that the Predators are shooting are just lame ducks. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And we'll talk more next week about your opinion that Predators works.
I'm going to have a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah.
You fucking bastard. Yeah. Fucking bastard. That's all my notes on this movie.
If you liked Danny Glover's whisper acting in Predator 2, stay tuned for Adrian Brody.
He makes Lawrence Fishburne's the weak link in that, but we're not there yet, so it's okay.
Is there a strong link? All right.
Okay. You haven't rewatched it, correct?
No, I haven't. All right, AVP. We find out that the Predators taught the humans how to build the pyramids. And and they summon...
which is better than Dr. Ben Carson, who thought that that Jesus taught the Egyptians. So there you go. It's about as plausible.
You mean the future head of housing and urban development in our country? I like that Trump. I mean, just a quick.
You
Trump
can't
joke.
avoid it, man. It's okay. Yeah. Our listeners.
I just love that. There was like, he's like, what? I have to hire a head of housing and urban development. Urban. Who do I know that's urban? Oh, wasn't there a black guy on the podium with me for a while there? Yeah. All right. So the Predators, they're building pyramids, and they summon aliens to hunt. And
why not?
The aliens overrun the top of the pyramid. It looks sort of like those Israel scenes in World War Z.
Sure does.
And
point. Yeah.
And then fucking... like they get overrun and they set off a bomb to kill the xenomorphs, and they get buried underground. And
I love how you keep calling them xenomorphs. So funny.
Isn't that what the aliens are called?
No, they are, but it's just so funny that you're not saying like the aliens. Like, why are you calling? Like, are you what are you in a fucking lab dissecting these things?
The xenomorphs.
Yeah, you're literally acting like a character from Alien. You're acting like Ash. You're like, oh, these xenomorphs are fascinating. Yeah, all right, fine.
Sorry, I don't know.
No, it's great. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, okay, so.
And that's basically the movie, man. They're fighting these aliens. The aliens look like shit. I don't know why their heads are oversized in this one.
Really do look like shit. Well, we're in the CGI
They look like
era.
bobbleheads.
They look like what?
Bobbleheads. It's like fucking Funko designed the creatures in this movie.
That hurt my chest. And not because I have a chest burster. Oh,
it's just garbage. You get to see some aliens. There's some face hugging action. You get to see some predators. There's some dreadlocks. They're shooting all the weapons from the second one. They're chucking spears, which made me think of Roger Ebert's comment. And it's boring, man. I was bored watching this movie. I'm giving it a 1.
Whoa, are we wrapping up?
I got nothing to say about this thing. You get a reprise of the ugly motherfucker line for you predator heads out there. God. And there's just not a lot going on. And then at the end of the movie, there's like a predator-alien hybrid, which I assume sets up the next one.
I assume. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I was now, in 2007, I was now in New York.
Well, you'll talk about this next week.
Yeah, okay. All right, fine. Yeah. I haven't... Jesus. Sorry, censorship, man. Yeah,
All right,
no,
so you're in New York and you couldn't be bothered seeing the movie. Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
that. You're right. That's the story. That's all I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any good points of this movie?
I mean, what I said about Paul W.S. Anderson before, like he's doing the Paul Anderson thing, but he seems intimidated by the source material, so he doesn't go full Paul W.S. Anderson. Which
It's
is
not
what
as good as There Will Be Blood. We could probably say that.
It's not as good as Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. You know where I gotta say, and this is why I'm giving it 2 stars. It's until he starts that shit towards the end with the fucking Zack Snyder, sorry Zack, fast motion 300 horse shit.
Yeah, there's some of that.
Yeah. I wasn't completely off board. Like, it was... I think it's a competently... The guy knows how to direct a movie. I will give you that, Dan. You like that? I'll give you that. He knows how to direct a movie. He just had nothing to work with here. But, of course, he wrote it. So let's talk about that for a second.
Well, he's a writer. He writes all his movies. And sometimes, like...
He's a writer. Okay, Philip Roth is a writer.
I mean, he's a screenwriter. He's a Hollywood screenwriter. he even in the Resident Evil movies, like, he directed the first one and then sat out the second and third ones. But he stayed in as a writer. Yeah. Like, he wrote those movies and didn't bother directing them. I think because of this, actually, like he directed this instead of Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is the second one. And he just, Alien is a legitimately great movie, and Paul W.S. Anderson, that's not what he does. I think
Alien is a masterpiece.
We talked about how they want to do they want to reboot Starship Troopers, but without the irony that Paul Verhoeven brought to it.
Of course, right.
Paul W.S. Anderson's your man for that.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. That is a great point. Like, if anyone has taken... would you say that he has taken the reins from a Paul Verhoeven?
I think there's a little Verhoeven in his DNA, yes.
Yeah. The good way to put it. Yeah. Well, I have a superhero count.
Okay.
Which is rather astonishing.
Hit me.
I have 4.
Oh, that's surprising. Well, Sanaa Lathan from Blade.
I missed her.
Oh, yes!
I hate you. I fucking hate you. I don't want to do this anymore. We're going to stop the superhero count.
That was off the top of my head, off the dome.
At Sam Loomis. We're done. No.
You're doing it from now on, buddy.
Huh?
So let's get Sam Loomis to do it from now on.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. No, I just don't think of Blade. I knew she was in that, and I just didn't. It's not what I think about. But you're right. Okay, fuck you. Fine. 5. All right, but I'll get you on the other 4.
Okay.
Lance Henriksen played the Grim Reaper in an Avengers cartoon.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Ewan Bremer.
He's the train spotting guy?
Yeah. He is in the upcoming Wonder Woman movie as an undisclosed character, and he was apparently in Beavis Dodge in a photograph. So he is a Wonder Woman character. We don't know what. We can't figure that out. Okay,
I like it.
Pretty good. You're going to like... I'm getting better now. Wait till you hear this. All right. Tommy Flanagan, the guy with the scars on his face.
Sure.
He is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
That's Volume 2.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, right. And
we like full titles on this podcast.
You're absolutely right. Well, I know you hate Marvel Cinematic Universe things, so I didn't know if you would go for that. So I was trying to spare you.
Nah,
and he was in an episode of Gotham.
As who?
Tom the Knife. Now, I stopped watching Gotham after 2 seasons, so...
You made it through 2 seasons?
Lie. That's a lie. 1 season. I did the full first season, and I started the second season. I didn't finish it.
Okay. Yeah, I made it through probably 9 episodes, something like that.
Well, how many episodes is this fucking thing?
Well, it's like 22 per season.
So stupid. Yeah, okay.
Fucking Tom the Knife. I don't know. He's probably like a mob guy, right? Did he work for Fish Mooney?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
He's in Gotham. He's in Guardians. He's in G of the G too.
Volume 2.
G of the GV2.
Yeah.
And my fourth or fifth, now that we counted Sanaa Lathan, is the Colin Salmon. He is the black guy in AVP.
Okay, he's the token black guy.
Sorry, you know who I mean, don't you? He is in 2 things. He is in Arrow in many episodes.
Does he play Diggle?
Walter Steele.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's not a bad actor, that guy. Yeah, I knew I recognized him from something.
I didn't know him because I only know him from one thing, and you might know what I know him from. Can you guess what I know him from?
No, what?
I'm surprised that you can't guess it. I bet if you had a little more time, you would. He's in the last 3 terrible Pierce Brosnan James Bond movies.
As who?
He plays Charles Robinson. He's kind of the Felix Leiter, which was then taken over by Jeffrey Wright. Fantastically.
Sure. Great Jeffrey Wright.
Fantastically, yeah. Okay, and then Colin Salmon was also in Punisher Warzone.
Oh yeah, as who?
Played a character called Paul Budolansky.
Okay, not familiar with that character.
Those Polish black guys.
Sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So that's my superhero count. I give the movie 2 stars. I think it has some cool stuff in it. I think most of the cool stuff is in the first hour. I think after the first hour, it completely loses steam. But of course, that is when all the action happens. Yeah. And I just think it's all terrible. Yeah.
All right.
What you got? Nothing? That's it?
No, that's it.
All right.
Yeah. MVP, LVP.
MVP is Sanaa Lathan.
Mine's Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, that's completely fucking fair. Mm-hmm. I like her. She gives a lot of effort into it. She's clearly excited to be involved. My LVP, ooh, you're not going to like it. It's Paul Anderson.
That's fine.
Not so much for his directing, but more for his writing.
Yeah, that's fair, man. This was not a good one.